Hi, I'm Karen Quinn, the testing mom. If you have a young child who will be taking the Naglieri Nonverbal Test, or the NNAT2, he or she will have to work with pattern completion questions that look something like this. I'm going to show you how these questions work, and then I want to give you some hints on how to help a child who's having trouble learning how to answer this type of question. I'm going to lay everything out on the table so it'll be easy for you to see. What I want to do now is show you a fun activity you can do at home to help your child become better at the skills needed for these pattern completion questions that you'll find on the NNAT2. And here's what the questions look like. It's a pattern, and then there's a white piece of paper on top of the pattern, and the child has to decide which piece goes in the white spot. Now, a lot of kids have trouble with this because they have to be able in their minds to envision. Well, I think this one's probably a little easier to look at as to why it can be hard for a child, because in their minds they have to envision, well, what piece goes here? And if they don't have a puzzle piece to look at and play with, it can be hard for a lot of kids. So one of the things I always advise parents to do, if you're just working with the picture and you don't have a physical puzzle, tell your child to look at the little white spot and ask himself what's special about the piece that's going to have to go here. We know it's going to have a green stripe in the middle because they can draw with their fingers that green stripe and it keeps going. So one of the puzzle pieces is going to have a green stripe. Well, 4 of them do, so you can immediately eliminate this one. We also know it's going to have sort of an orange next to the green on one side, and only an orange and then a green. So which one has orange-green? And I think this one has orange-green. This one has a little blue, but we know it doesn't go that far. So kind of have your child in their minds draw a line and notice what has to be here. And if they notice the green stripe and then the dark orange over here, they'll see that that's the piece. But for a lot of kids, this is hard. And one of the things I recommend that you do, if it is hard for your child, is print out all the pattern completion puzzles that we have on our site. And you can print them out and then cut it out, and then use a glue stick and put this on a glue stick, which is what I did down here, is I put a glue stick behind it, I glued it onto cardboard, and then I cut it out. And here's all the puzzle pieces. And what you want to do is just have your child work with these pieces just like they're a real puzzle and see if they can find which piece is the piece that goes here. Well, this is wrong because the color's wrong. That's obviously wrong. That's not right. Oh, I think that's it. So there's the piece. So a lot of kids need to work with these as physical puzzles before they're able to do it in their minds. And I did the same thing. Here's some more. I just printed these right out from our site. And I did the very same thing. I cut this out. I used a glue stick and I put it on cardboard and I cut them all out. And what's nice about this is that it gives you a lot more options even with working with our questions, because you can mix up the puzzle pieces in different ways than the ways we had it. But you just lay out the pieces and let your child try to figure out, well, which piece belongs here? And they can literally physically try it. Aha, it's this piece. And when they've done it enough physically, it makes it much easier for them to do it in their heads, as they're going to have to do it on the test. Now, let's say you have a child who's not that interested in doing these puzzles because they're hard for them. What I recommend that you do is, let's say you go to whatever your child's passion is. And so here's one that I made for a child who loves dinosaurs. He wasn't so interested in the designs and the patterns, but if it was a dinosaur, he would do anything. So all I did was I went to the internet and I printed out a picture of a dinosaur. I took a white square and I stuck it right there. And then I had to print the picture out twice so that I could cut pieces out from it. And then here are all the possible puzzle pieces. that I cut out. So you let your child play with it. Is that? No, that's not what goes there. Let's see, is that what? No, that's not what goes there. Is that it? Well, that could be. No, that doesn't look right. So let your child who loves dinosaurs work with this until he finds the piece that matches. There it is. And so if you do enough of these with something that he's very, very interested in and he gets good at it, then he'll be more open to doing the puzzles that have designs. And here's another one I did for somebody, a child who really loves princesses and castles. And same thing, I just printed out a picture from the internet. I printed it out twice. I glued it to a piece of cardboard, and then I cut out possible pieces. And let's see, is that the piece that goes there? Oh, it could be. I don't know, that doesn't seem right. Let's try this. No, that's not it. No, actually it's this piece right here, which is the full door that goes there. But again, if your child isn't all excited about doing the designs, start with pictures of things that your child is really interested in. Turn them into little puzzles that are very similar to these NNAT 2 puzzles. Start with them, then move over to the puzzles with the designs. And if your child is having trouble imagining this in his head, cut them out and let your child work with them physically. This will help tremendously. And if they do enough of these with the physical puzzle pieces, they will then be able to do them in their heads.